Okay, on this one, it starts in factored or intercept form. So I'm going to start here and just write it where it goes. Okay, so again, to solve it for our intercepts, all I do is put a 0 in for y. And I end up with x plus 2 equals 0, 1 to solve, and x minus 4 equals 0. So I minus 2 on this side, and I get x equals negative 2. And I add 4 on this side, and I get x equals 4. So I can see x-intercepts right here. So I do them in the right order this time. I'm going to go ahead and just plug those in. Sorry, guys. This is why I'm not here today. I'm going to get 1 at 4, and I'm going to get 1 at negative 2. All right, well, that was not too bad. Gives us factored form. That's great. Standard form, to get there into standard form, we've done this on our review a little bit, but you didn't know kind of what we were doing. It's just our organized distribution. So we use the box, and we're going to put this one on the outside of the box right here. And then we're going to put this one on the outside of the box right here. And then we do our multiplication. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. X times 2 is 2x. And x times negative 4 is negative 8. And then don't forget that this and this are like terms, so we're going to add them. So I'm going to do y equals x squared. I'm going to add those two together and get negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2x, and then I get negative 8. So there we've got it in standard form. Now, once we have it in standard form, we can go ahead and put it in vertex form by completing the square. So that's where I know it's all the boxes, guys, but we're going to remember what each of them mean. The extra box gives us the complete of the square, so we're going to put a negative 8 out there. Oops. Oh, come back. There we go. Then our x squared goes here, and then we're going to do half of negative 2, which is negative 1. So then I get negative 1x and negative 1x, and then negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. And to get to negative 8, I need to do minus 9. So then it becomes y equals x minus 1 squared minus 9. And then remember, here is our h, and here is our k, and our h changes signs. So we end up with having a vertex. Let me write that a little better. I'll highlight that 9 again. Okay, so our vertex is 1 and negative 9. This changes sign. This one stays the same. So I go over to 1, negative 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it's off our graph. He's down there. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I just connect my dots. I try to make them curvy. I'm not really going to be able to see my y-intercept there, but that's okay because we should plug it in, remember? So our x-intercepts are that. Our domain is our all real numbers. Our range, that's our hard stop, and we point up. So on our range, we're going to do negative 9 with a bracket to infinity. Our y-intercept, I'm going to go back up to here, and I get y equals, I'm going to do 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 8. Now, if you'll notice, those two go to 0. So this thing right here is always our y-intercept, which ends up being there. So that's going to be negative 8, 0, or y equals negative 8. Our direction of opening is up. Our axis of symmetry happens right there in the middle, which is at x equals 1. Now here I want you to notice, do you see that this number and this number, yeah, that axis of symmetry is happening right there at our vertex. Let's do our car in blue this time. Our car is going to go down first, so this one is left of vertex. I forgot that in the last one. This one is right of vertex. And then we have x is, oh, x is greater than 1, x is less than 1, and our vertex happens at 1, -9. All right, then we can keep going. This one, hopefully you're starting to recognize these forms that we've done a bunch of times. This one right here is in vertex form. So we don't have to complete the square this time. So our vertex form is already given to us. Y equals x minus 3 squared minus 1. Then we find our h right here and our k right here. So our vertex ends up being 3 because we change the sign of the first one and keep the sign of the second one. So 3, -1. So I go to 3, -1. Well, let's come down here and fill in our vertex because we know what it is. And we can also fill in our axis of symmetry because we know that happens at the vertex now. All right, for standard form, we need to multiply it out. So I didn't give you much room here. So we're going to do x minus 3 and x minus 3. We need to not forget our plus 1 right here. That's going to come into play in a minute. We're going to multiply this first, though. X squared -3 times x is -3x. They're both -3x, and then -3 times -3 is 9. So this one I'm going to write out so we can see what we're doing. X squared, because the box is a little confusing, -3x minus 3x. We usually combine these in the box, but we're going to do it here. And then we have a plus 9. And then we don't forget that -1 from here. So I'm going to tack it on right here. So -1. And then I'm just going to combine all my like terms. So I get x squared, -3 minus 3 is -6 for our x's. And 9 minus 1 is 8. So I get plus 8. Hey, remember that gives us our y-intercept. So up here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I've got a y-intercept, so let's go ahead and plug in that information. All right, so then factored form, we got to factor that thing. So let's do our puzzle. So blank times blank is 8, and blank plus blank is -6. Well, what do you guys think? It's 2 and 4. Good job. And then we're going to make them both negative to get to -6. So for factored or intercept form, I have, let me make that a little bit higher. Oh, heavens, guys. 4. Then I get y equals x minus 2 and x minus 4. And then I solve my little equations because I put in 0. So I add 2 to both sides. And I add 4 for the second equation, and I end up with x equals 2 and x equals 4. So 2 and 1, 2, oh, heavens. I can't count today. 2, 3, 4. There we go. So our x-intercepts, as I write them as ordered pairs, are 2, 0 and 4, 0. That's what our parabola shape ends up looking like. Our domain is all real numbers. Our range, here's our hard stop, and we're pointing up. So we get hard stop at -1, and we go to infinity. Our direction of opening is up. Our little car goes down, so we go down first, so we go left of vertex for decreasing, and that is x is less than 3, and our increasing is right of vertex, which is x is greater than 3. All right, I'll be back with the last one in just a second.